lot of beautiful energy in there, Ross. And over here in the direction of the east, just to this side of it, that's where you were born. And so your soul is always in a place of spirituality and fresh starts on any given day. You just are there, you know, and so your life will always encompass a lot of changes, a lot of explorations, and by the time you complete your time on the earth this go round, you will truly have completed all you came here to do. And you'll leave as a diamond soul. Big chills on that one. That's an ascended master. And again, this is not an ego thing. This is just you being able to very quickly go, okay, no, I'm done. It's a while down the road. You picked a spot over there that is showing you that you're heading into yourself in a new way. That's your future. And it's almost there. It's kind of in an Aquarian location right now, right? Ready to step into you knowing yourself in an even more expanded and new way. And there's a lot of personal growth that's a part of that, and also a lot of beauty and a lot of sustenance that's there for you, and many people who will support you as well. When you look almost directly across, fascinating, that is the place of magic and good fortune. That's your special spot, the spot that appealed to you. And it has to do with the direction of the southwest. And it has to do with the vibration of Leo Virgo vibration. And so it's very creative, it's very loving, it's very playful. If you ever feel like it, you could live in the southwest and do really, really well here. And it's a heart space for you. I just picked up a tiny little stone, and I thought, oh, that's glittery. And then when I looked at it, it's a heart.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So you would find lots of love and support in the southwest. And it is truly a place of magic for you. And you'll always be supported. There may be times when money goes in and out like this, but you'll never truly do without, and money will suddenly magically appear through different people and circumstances. So you can kind of relax into that and know that no matter the choices you make, and you're very divinely guided from your heart. You have such a good heart. I mean, really good heart. That you'll be cared for. So that's the first little segment that's about where you're headed in the future, which is really toward a brand new beginning in the East and an expanded sense of yourself again, with the reliance on knowing that you are the magician, and magic will come into your life in its own way. Have you ever wanted to live in the Southwest?
I lived in Vegas for a bit, so I guess that's kind of southwest.
Kinda, but I think of that as its own planet.
That's a good way to look at it. Not really. I'm not really drawn to it, but
okay.
it might be because there's some kind of blockage there for me about it.
Well, and it could be just travel back to the Southwest, especially different. Okay, here we go. Angel chills. Different red rock country. Southern Utah, the Escalante, the Grand Canyon. Oh, Canyon de Chelly up in the northeastern part of Arizona on Navajo land. So these will be spiritual places for you. This is more where your spiritual core is in this part of the world and in Hawaii. Okay. So now you get to stand up again, or if you want, you could sit and do this, whichever appeals to you, but you're going to take each of these stones and just place them somewhere around the wheel, on the wheel, inside the wheel, on the rocks, in the center, whatever appeals to you.
Okay.
Here's this thing a Native American woman showed up.
I really like that stone. It has like the purple flecks in it too, it looks like.
It's a zoisite.
Oh. It's very pretty. Maybe we'll put one on the center one too.
Sure, wherever you feel.
That's where it wants to go. I'll leave it there.
So this in some respects is a traditional, non-traditional medicine circle with the 4 directions in the center and all the variations of directions in between those 4. So we'll start over here at the east. As you make this new beginning in the next couple of months, and do take time to just allow everything to gel, you know. Start things when you feel compelled, but if you feel like you're not quite certain of something, take a little time. Because this is where the money starts, right here, in the next couple of months. And it's just outside the circle, so it's not something you can truly see right now. But in the next couple of months, you'll be able to see it very, very clearly. And along that line, this is the stone of family, home and family. So there is some support from family for that. And on the outside is a Larimar, which in this circle is representing your health and healing. And it's a little bit outside the circle right now. The closer you get to the center, the more you're right in sync with what's going on. Although these are along the circle, it's like day-to-day reality, and then integrity with spiritual reality. Anything outside the circle needs a little bit more attention. And that's really going to help you in terms of making money and family relationships. I see an infinity symbol there. So those are lined up really nicely. I'm going to hesitate for a moment, see if there's another message wanting to come in here. This is all about making money. Even in this spot, it's about making money. It's the Taurus vibration astrologically, So there's something pretty big that's going to start and then grow and grow and grow. There's another source of funding coming in to help you with your spiritual work. That could be a job like you mentioned, and it also could be a loan from somewhere. So just be open to receiving, and while you're here in Sedona, stay open to receiving inspiration on what you might need to do for your health so that you feel the vitality that's going to be needed so that you can focus in on making this money. And so you come around to the southern part of the wheel, and in the same way in which the eastern location is like a golden door of opportunity that's going to be opening up for you fairly soon, the southern location is the place of trust. And that's a big one for everybody here on the earth. And the zoosite that's there is your creativity that comes from your heart. That's really what's expanding within your core. I'm so glad that you're painting, so glad that you're exploring energy. There'll be many, many things that you explore fairly soon that you put together in a kind of a beautiful mandala of light and function. So this is you as a child. The Cancerian Leo vibration is there. This is you being able to stay connected with your mother in special ways. And as you look across toward the north, this is the south location, this is the strength of work. And it's on a rock that's very solid with 4 corners. It's the only rock like that. I love your soul. And so your creativity is going to go right into your work. Be very, very fulfilling for you over time. There'll be a few nervous times where you're not sure what you're doing, but hey, we're all in that together. Okay? And then you come to the place of magic. Oh, look at this. I hadn't noticed this rock. This is the rock of your, let me see. How did I have that rock? I have to go down the, where I had that. Okay. That is the rock of receiving money from outside sources. I think you're going to have a lot more support from the outside world than you might have realized. Although I think you're kind of getting a beat on some of it. But the outside world is totally wanting to support you. So this comes around, this is another source of support that comes around in about 6 months when you're in that place of magic and the magical heart. And it's support that doesn't have strings attached. There's some kind of gift coming to you. Okay. If somebody said, well, here's $5,000, would you take it and there are no strings attached, would that feel comfortable to you?
There is genuinely no strings attached, yes.
Huh?
I said if there was genuinely no strings attached, yes.
Yeah, there are generally no strings attached to that money coming in about 6 months or so. You're going to be meeting a lot of different people. Some of them have been kind of observing you online, and somebody with some money just wants to hand you a gift. They say, you know, we like what you're doing, there are no strings attached, and people do that. I had that happen in my early years, and I didn't believe it when the person told me. But I actually had to ask for a little help. These people who I'd known previously, I encountered them, and they wanted to know what I was up to. Then I heard my inner voice go, you'll have to let them know that you're looking for some funding. And they funded it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is somebody with so much money there would be no strings attached. Just a person who gives money to different people over time. You might not know him personally. Okay? About 6 months from now. In the direction of the east, this is your communication line. You communicate with tremendous depth. This is the west where the sun goes down. This is the place of bear medicine. Okay. So trust yourself that you have a lot to say and it will be well received. Looks like there's a bear in here with long ears where the shadows are falling. Almost like a young bear. The nose, the eyes, and the ears. Yeah. You are so spiritually attuned. So the opal that's in that position says clear communication. You're very capable of that and you'll do well with it. And as you come around to the north, that's the place of our ancestors and of our family in spirit. In your lineage, is there someone when you look back that you either know of or sense who was very spiritually attuned like you are?
Both my mom's mom and one of my aunts was really kind of dialed into that from what I understand.
Good, okay. And are any of them still on the earth, or are they in spirit?
They're both still on the earth. They just, neither of them really delve into it anymore because it became uncomfortable for them.
Okay, they just needed to do a certain amount to kind of anchor that into the family. All right. They support you behind the scenes, in spirit. So they may not really say much to you about it, and you might not even bother bringing anything up. But once they pass on, they'll be connecting you to 2 new realms of light that will bring in lots of energy for the cycle of life that you're in at that time. And that will bring you even more strength. This is really where your work is located, here in the north. Have you been able to sense spirits quite a bit over time?
I don't really, I can't say that I sense spirits. Sometimes I get like intuitive feelings or voices that, I mean, it's my internal voice somewhat,
Yeah.
but it's different because it's like, do this, and I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like for that whitish rock, I was told look for a white rock, and I'm like, there's no white rocks up here. But then I looked for it. It's like, just be patient and find one, because that's one of my things, patient. And sure enough, I found a whitish rock.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely different aspects of yourself. You'll have some interesting awareness of these different internal, projected outside yourself guidance over time, because I believe like you that everything is within us, and I believe everything like the ascended master energy and angelic realms and you name it is here in our light codes, and they just get activated at different times. So you have all those shamanic activations, and then when each of them passes on, and they'll pass on separately, they'll open you up to new realms where in some of your communication with people, chills from time to time, you'll recognize that a person who you're interacting with has a beautiful spiritual presence around them of someone who has passed on. And you need to say no more than that, unless there's something else that comes in, and just say, I sense the beauty of someone who has passed on, who supports you from another realm of light, and yet you have this portal around you, or these rays of light around you that are very, very supportive. You have a grandfather that really supports you a lot at this point in time, and someone who's passed on, or a great-grandfather, somebody back in your lineage, and it will be very soothing to them. You know, you'll be interacting with them probably online, and they'll go, oh, I know who that is, you know, and so you have such a beautiful heart. It's just amazing, and so that energy will be coming out to other people. Right here where your wonderful Katsina is, you see there's a direct line of your creativity coming in through your heart, and then this is your day-to-day heart, right here, the rose quartz. This is your relationships. So heart and mind together. You're in a wonderful process of bringing those two together very effectively, where you're not just mental in your visions and assessments of things and the way you interact with the world, but bringing the heart in as well. It's almost like your heart's going out to your mind and throughout your body. So that's a beautiful combination. And then all of that is going into your work, and you've got that certain strength in your work. Okay. Are you wanting at all a life partner or a partial time life partner?
I definitely want a significant other. It's just I have such a hard time. I was very selfish to women before, and I've done them a lot of wrong. So it's kind of reconciling a lot of that stuff, which I've been doing. But it's just trying to determine what I want and what like that want and need differential thing, and trying to balance that intellectual attraction with physical attraction and all that stuff. So it's just very mercurial at this point at best.
Yeah, you're just bringing those energies together right now. And so it might take a while, you know. Up to this point in the wheel, it was about 6 months. Now it feels like these energies are in many respects going further out than that. But notice that that's very close to the center of the wheel. And so you're being spiritually guided, and your soul is going to find someone. And when the time is right, that will happen. And it's really kind of like a mirror reflection of you in this person. Okay? So there will be an instantaneous understanding between both of you. Okay? So just keep on keeping on, doing what you're doing. The integration is going well, and it will happen. And yeah, just over a little time. Oh, I almost forgot this guy right here.
Blended into the surroundings.
It did. This is your friendship circle. You have interesting friends. You have friends who are healers. In a way, that's the way it always has been, even if we haven't always been able to recognize some of these people and the fact that they are a healing presence. But you're surrounded by indigos and crystals and golden beings of light too. And it's right here in the Scorpio vibration. So these are very deep people like yourself, and they're just by being around them, you heal each other, and you don't even know how deep you're going until time goes on. You go, wow, we went so deep it looked like it was something on the surface of the earth, but that was so deep. You go out to lunch with someone and go, a couple of days later you go, wow, we went deep on that. On that lunch we went into deep healing. Okay, so I'm glad you have people you can relate to well. So right over here, after you come through the place of spiritual energies, your point of power is right over there, and it's bringing it to the earth, the one with the dot in the center. That's the Aquarian energy, the electromagnetic energy, and you already really affect, you know, life here on the planet with that. And I hope you have a lot of fun with it, because that's always going to be your point of power, however you express energy, through your painting, through your words, and this and that, you know. And I feel like more fun needs to come in, and more fun will come in. And people can really relate to that sense of humor about things too. You could be a wonderful writer of spiritual parody.
I can see that.
So if you ever felt like you wanted to do that, you'd be a great stand-up comedian for the spiritual realms.
That'd be an interesting niche for that.
And you get very famous, because I don't know if there are any out there. Okay, and then your spiritual awakening is right there too. Your perpetual spiritual awakening. And that's right in the place of who you are. You are truly probably so much more in sync with yourself than you ever actually realize, because a lot of times we don't realize because of all the things we go through. But you're really synchronized with your soul, beautifully synchronized, and you're aligned with it right now. And so what's following you into this new future is that point of power where you're going to bring in a little bit more fun and a little bit more of your electric energy and see what you can do with it. Do you have any questions of the wheel?
Honestly, you pretty much answered all my questions.
Okay.
So,
Right.
I mean, I can't really think of any. I will say that, like, the thing about the significant other is interesting because one of the friends that I have feelings for, her and I are very similar in lots of senses. We're both on the journey of recovery in lots of ways. And it's not that it's, like, progressing that way, but there's, like, this push and pull internally about something there. Because her and I have almost dated before. It's actually what led me to recovery. And it's, like, somebody that keeps reoccurring in my life. But neither of us are in a position now to actually be in a relationship because they suggest your first year of recovery, just kind of working on yourself and not focusing on anybody else, which is what I'm doing. And it's also funny because my clean date is September 2nd, and like I kept having this thought in my head, yeah, well, September 2nd I'll be able to date somebody, like where it's just going to magically be on September 2nd I can date somebody, and it's so illogical, but it's just funny how that is. Yeah. Well, I don't always get everything right, so it's funny how that kind of is. I have to laugh at myself for that. We're like thinking the clock will roll over, like 11:59 and then 12 o'clock on September 2nd. I'll be in a relationship.
There's your cosmic stand-up humor right there.
Yeah, I guess that is. A lot of the spiritual teachers really were funny, like Buddha and stuff like that. Like, I like Alan Watts a lot. Alan Watts makes me laugh almost every time I listen to his lectures. I thought you did a very good job.
Yeah, so this will evolve, you know, a little bit into the future. Whenever that's, I don't want to put any dates on it myself because it has its own timing.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to learn.
Yeah, it has its own timing, but it will definitely be there. And it will be good, and everything will be as it needs to be to start things.
I do have a question with I think it was something else relating to, like, the core. My stomach's been upset since I've been here, really bad. I don't know if it's, I mean, it's obviously some of the things I've been eating, but I always feel like there's physical symptoms also have spiritual roots, no matter what it is.
Yes, yes, yes. The native people, when they were here in the autumn, talked about how one of the major things we'd be dealing with, all of us physically, would be stomach issues this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then, of course, you come into this huge vortex of Sedona and everything gets stirred up. And it can actually, since the energy is so heightened, it can also bring up kind of an anxious feeling in the stomach that constricts everything. Mm-hmm. I've been dealing with it from time to time, too. So, best to just tune into your, put your hands on your belly when you get home and say, okay, are there some things I need to do here that I haven't been doing that'll help with what's happening in my digestion? And you'll get some answers. Mm-hmm. And it'll be after you've gone through this shift, so it'll be a right timing for knowing that too. And there probably are a few little things you could do in terms of diet and maybe a few other things as well.
Yeah, I've kind of had this, like, I thought I was going vegetarian before, but I actually had a conversation before I came here about how I enjoy eating meat and all this stuff with somebody that's vegan, and I was like, well, I don't think one's better than the other because either way you're eating life, which I definitely stand by that. You're eating life no matter what, but now I kind of feel like my stomach's trying to say you don't need to eat meat. Not that I can't eat it, but maybe I need to eat way less of it than I already do.
You're on it. Yeah. Yeah.
Which I'm kind of like, no, that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
But it's kind of what I need to do, I guess.
For this cycle of time, and you'll go in and out of those kinds of experiences over time. There'll be times when you really need a lot more meat to stay grounded on the planet. But right now, with all these shifting core changes, yeah, trust your instincts on that. We'll go on a short shamanic journey.
Awesome.
And reconnect you with your bobcat and who knows what else. And oh yeah, you'll soak up so many good vibes here from the earth. And connecting with the heartbeat of Mother Earth in the crystal core of the earth, the gyroscope that keeps us balanced, sending your roots of light all the way around the core of the earth. And as rooted light, now you can travel wherever you wish on the earth in great balance. And entering the tree hole in your katsina, if you wish, or another type of entry point in the earth. And you have many power animals, and then in the center of the circle is your bobcat. And in the east, there's another power animal that shows up for you, most likely right now, and if not, in the near future. And as you move around the wheel to the south, knowing that the animal that shows up in the east there will help support the new beginning into the golden light of ancient wisdom. And in the south, the place of trust, another animal shows up for you. Moving around the wheel to the west. Another point of power, another animal spirit to support you in strength and beauty. And as you move to the north, an additional member of your animal group. And these supporting cast members in the dance of your life will come and go. New ones emerging from time to time, showing up in dreams or visions or messages, showing up in songs and in ways that touch your heart. So we honor the wheel of life. And in the weeks ahead, it will be as if you step outside the old wheel that you've been on and lightly touch base with the new wheel. And so we honor these cycles of life. Do little rose petals for you too. Anything you want to share about that?
Yeah, it was interesting. I definitely kind of... I've had this feeling that like a wolf is my spirit animal before, and I kind of saw that for the east thing, but then I also kind of felt like there was going to be something different I see when I go back home. And then for the west, I saw a hummingbird for this spirit animal thing I did earlier this year, so I kind of saw the hummingbird again. And then for the north, I saw like a squid. I used to live in Humboldt County, so they have like the Humboldt squids out there, which are those really huge squids. And squids, they have one of the most complex languages, I guess, because they can change the chromatophores, I think they're called. They can change their color to like speak, which is part of the reason why they have those ink clouds. I read is so they can kind of hide. They're not showing their face as much. I just thought it was interesting.
Like a poker face.
Yeah. Have you ever read any books by Terence McKenna?
Oh yes.
Yeah, he talks about that in one of his books. I want to say it was him. I don't remember what book particularly.
It's been a while. I read some of those in the 80s.
I really like his style. He reminds me a lot of like Alan Watts but in a different way.
Yeah, very definitely. We've had some wonderful teachers who have come before us, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,